Okay, here we go. So according to my record, we are now at stage 5, paragraph page 410. The last headword was coach, newer type of lesson. Okay, so let me scroll down for our revision for 10. Okay, here we go. First question, revision. Is the temperature of the atmosphere falling this month? Is the temperature of the atmosphere falling this month? Yes or no?
Yes,
The
the
temperature of
temperature
the
of the
atmosphere is
atmosphere
falling this month.
falling this month.
If your body temperature falls a lot, what should you do? If your body temperature falls a lot, what should you do? If my
If
body
my body
temperature falls a
temperature
lot,
falls a
I
lot,
should go to
I
bed
should go to
and
bed
call a doctor.
and call a doctor.
Very good. What's the plural of tooth? What's the plural of tooth? The plural
The
of tooth
plural of
is
tooth
teeth.
is teeth.
What do we clean our teeth with? What do we clean our teeth with? We clean
We
our
clean
teeth
our teeth
with
with
a
a toothbrush.
very good. If you have a problem with your teeth, who should you go to see? If you have a problem with your teeth, who should you go to see? If I
If
have a
I have
problem
a
with my
problem
teeth,
with my
I
teeth,
should go
I
to
should
see a
go to
dentist.
see a dentist.
Very good. Does it seem to you as if it'll rain later? Does it seem to you as if it'll rain later? Yes or no?
Yes,
It seems to me
it seems to
as if
me
it'll rain later.
it will be rain later.
Very good. One more. Yes. It seems
Yes,
to me
it seems to me
as if
as
it'll
if
rain
it
later.
will rain later.
Very good. Why do some people seem younger than they really are? Why do some people seem younger than they really are? Some people
Some
seem
people
younger than
seem
they really
younger
are.
than really are.
One more. Some people
Some people
seem younger,
seem
seem
seem young
younger
seem younger
than they really are
than they really are
because of
because
the
of
way they look,
the way they look,
the way they
the
talk,
way they talk,
the things they do,
the things they do,
etc.
etc.
Very good. Does it seem warmer to you today than it was yesterday? Does it seem warmer to you today than it was yesterday? Yes or no?
No,
It doesn't
it
seem
doesn't
warmer
seem
to me today
warmer to me today
than it was
than it
yesterday.
was yesterday.
Very good. Are you ill several times during the year? Are you ill several times during the year? Yes or no?
No,
I'm not ill
I'm not
several
ill
times
several
during
times
the year.
during the year.
Very good. Do some very rich people have houses in several different countries? Do some very rich people have houses in several different countries? Yes,
Yes,
some very rich
some
people
very rich
have
people
houses
have
in
houses
several
in
different
several
countries.
different countries.
Very good. Did Mozart compose a lot of music? Did Mozart compose a lot of music? Yes,
Yes,
Mozart composed
Mozart
a lot
composed
of music.
a lot of music.
Do you find it difficult to compose formal letters? Do you find it difficult to compose formal letters? Yes or no?
Yes,
I
I
find it
find
difficult
it
to
difficult
compose
to
formal
compose
letters.
formal letters.
How many letters is the English alphabet composed of? How many letters is the English alphabet composed of? The English
The
alphabet
English
is
alphabet
composed
is
of
composed
26
of
letters.
26 letters.
Greg, is Europe composed of many different countries? Is Europe composed of many different countries? Yes, Europe's
Yes,
composed
Europe's
of
composed
many
of
different
many
countries.
different countries.
Greg, do you agree that it's wise to put some money in the bank each month for later on in life? Do you agree that it's wise to put some money in the bank each month for later on in life? Yes or no?
Yes,
I
I
agree that
agree
it's
that
wise
it's
to
wise
put some
to
money in
put
the
some
bank
money in
each
the
month
bank
for
each
later
month
on in
for
life.
later on in life.
Greg, do you think wisdom comes more with age or experience? Do you think wisdom comes more with age or experience? I think
I think
wisdom comes
wisdom
more with
comes more with experience.
very good. If I suddenly threw my pen at you, would you be able to catch it? If I suddenly threw my pen at you, would you be able to catch it? Yes or no?
No,
If you
if
suddenly
you
threw
suddenly
your pen
threw
at
your
me,
pen at me,
I wouldn't be
I
able
wouldn't
to
be
catch it.
able to catch it.
Greg, what's the greatest physical pain you've ever suffered? What's the greatest physical pain you've ever suffered? The greatest
The greatest
physical
pain
pain.
I've
Homer,
physical pain,
the greatest
uh,
physical
the
pain
greatest physical
I've
pain
ever
I've
suffered
ever
was
suffered was stomachache.
stomachache. Very good. Okay. Is there anything in life that we can be completely certain of? Is there anything in life that we can be completely certain of? Yes or no?
Yes,
There's something in life
there's something
that we can.
in
There's something in life
there's something in life
that we can be
that we can
completely
be
certain of.
completely certain of.
What? What is it?
It's death.
It's death. Very good. Okay. From where you're sitting, can you see people passing by the window? From where you're sitting, can you see people passing by the window? Yes or no?
No,
From where I'm
from
sitting,
where I'm
I
sitting,
can't see
I
people
can't see people
passing by the
passing
window.
by the window.
Very good. When a car park is full, where does a driver have to park his car? When a car park is full, where does a driver have to park his car? When a car park
When a
is
car
full,
park is
a
full,
driver
a
has to
driver
park his
has to
car
park his
in
car
the street.
in the street.
Very good. Okay, next. When do we use the first conditional? When do we use the first conditional? We use
We
the
use
first
the first
conditional to
conditional
communicate
to
that we
communicate
think
that
something
we think
is a
something
real
is a
possibility
real
in
possibility
the future.
in the future.
What is its construction? What is its construction? Its
Its
construction is
construction
if
is if
plus present
plus present
plus
plus
will do.
will do.
Greg, give me an example. Give me an example, please. If he sees
If
his
he
friend
sees his friend
this evening,
this
he
evening,
will say hello.
he will say hello.
Very good. When do we use the second conditional? When do we use the second conditional? We use
We
the
use
second
the second
conditional to
conditional
communicate
to
that we
communicate
are only
that we are
imagining
only
something.
imagining something.
What is its construction? What is its construction? Its construction
Its
is if
construction is if
plus past
plus
tense
past tense
plus would do.
plus would do.
Very good. Give me an example. Give me an example, please. If she went
If she went
to the North Pole
to the
next
North
week,
Pole next
she
week,
would feel
she
very
would
cold.
feel very cold.
Very good. When do we use the third conditional? When do we use the third conditional? We use the
We
third
use the third
conditional when we
conditional
are imagining
when we
something
are imagining
in the
something
past
in the
that
past
did not really
that
happen.
did not really happen.
Very good. What is its construction? What is its construction? Its construction
Its
is if
construction is if
plus past
plus
perfect
past perfect
plus would have done.
plus would have done.
Very good. Give me an example. Give me an example, please. If she had
If
studied
she
harder,
had studied
she
harder,
would have
she would
succeeded
have
in the
succeeded
exam
in
last
the
month.
exam last month.
Very good. In the third conditional, what do we put after the word would? In the third conditional, what do we put after the word would? In the third
In the third
conditional, we put
conditional,
the
we
word
put
have
the word have
and the past
and
participle
past participle
after the word would.
after the word would.
Give me some examples. Give me some examples, please. He would have
If
slept. He
if
would have slept.
he would have slept,
She would have written.
she would have written,
They would have eaten.
they would have eaten.
Very good. If you had been born in England, which language would you have spoken as a child? If you had been born in England, which language would you have spoken as a child? If I had
If
been
I
born
had
in
been
England,
born in
I
England,
would have
I would
spoken
have spoken
English as a child.
English as a child.
Very good. Were you in fact born in England? Were you in fact born in England? No, I
No,
wasn't in
I
fact
wasn't in
born
fact
in England.
born in
I
England.
was born in.
I was born in Japan.
Very good. Did you find 100 pounds on the street yesterday? Did you find 100 pounds on the street yesterday? No, I
No,
didn't
I
find
didn't find
100 pounds
100
on
pounds
the street
in on the
yesterday.
street yesterday.
But if you had found 100 pounds on the street yesterday, what would you have done with it? But if you had found 100 pounds on the street yesterday, what would you have done with it? If I had
If I
found
had
100
found
pounds
100 pounds
on the street
on the
yesterday,
street
I
yesterday,
would have
I would
taken it
have
to the police station.
taken it to the police station.
But if you had not decided to study English, which language would you have decided instead? If you have not decided to study English, which language would you have studied instead? If I had
If
not
I had not
decided to study
decided
English,
to study
I would
English,
have
I
studied
would have studied French
instead.
instead.
Oh, difficult language. Okay. If you had not come to school last week, what would you have done instead? If you have not come to school last week, what would you have done instead? If I had not
If
come
I had not come
to school last
to
week,
school last
I
week,
would have gone
I would have gone
to Okinawa.
to Okinawa,
etc. Very good for a
etc.
holiday. Okay, next. What do people use diaries for? What do people use diaries for? People use
People
diaries
use
to help them
diaries to
remember
help them
things
remember
that
things
they have done
that they have
or
done
things
or
that they
things
need to
that
do.
they need to do.
Very good. What kind of character do you like to see in a person? What kind of character do you like to see in a person? I like to see
I like to see a
what
kind character
in a person.
in the person.
Very good. Have you ever got up really early? Have you ever got up really early? Yes or no?
Yes,
Got up
I've
really
sometimes got
early.
up very early
For what reason? For what reason? For
for
travel, for work, or
travel.
for traveling. Very good. Okay. If you were driving a car on a long journey and suddenly felt really tired, what would you do? If you were driving a car on a long journey and suddenly felt really tired, what would you do? If I were
If
driving a
I were
car
driving a
on a
car
long journey
on a long
and
journey,
suddenly felt
then
really
suddenly
tired,
felt feeling
I'd
tired.
really
I
tired.
really tired.
I'd stop the car,
I'd stop the
buy
car,
a cup of coffee,
buy a cup of
and
coffee,
wait until
and wait
I felt
until
more
I
awake.
felt more awake.
Very good. What's the past of run? What's the past of run? The past of
The
run
past of
is
run
ran.
is ran.
If you ran against me, who do you think would win? If you ran against me, who do you think would win? If I ran
If I
against
ran
you,
against
I
you,
think
I
it's a
think
draw.
it's a draw.
Very good. How can we improve our English? How can we improve our English? We can improve
We can
our
improve
English
our
by
English
practicing a
by
lot,
practicing a lot,
reading a lot, etc.
reading a lot, etc.
Why do even the best tennis players need a coach? Why do even the best tennis players need a coach? Even the best
Even
tennis
the best
players
tennis
need a
players
coach
need a
to help
coach
them to
to help
improve
them
their
to
game.
improve their game.
Is it cheaper to travel by coach or by train in your country? Is it cheaper to travel by coach or by train in your country? It's cheaper
It's
to
cheaper
travel
to
by
travel by coach
in my country
in my
than
country
train.
than train.
Very good. And that's the end of our revision. Let's have new work. Very good. Okay, let's start new work. Okay, repeat. Adverbs form from adjectives.
Adverbs formed from adjectives.
Very good. Okay, so let's talk about adverbs that we form from adjectives. Okay, listen. As you have already seen, one very common way of forming adverbs is by adding the letters ly to the adjective. Okay, to form an adverb from an adjective, you add ly. For example, adjective careful. You add ly carefully, so it becomes an adverb. Dangerous, dangerously. Useless, uselessly, etc. Okay, so let's practice. Tell me one very common way of forming adverbs from adjectives. Tell me one very common way of forming adverbs from adjectives, please. One very common
One
way
very
of
common way
forming adverbs
of
from
forming adverbs
adjectives
from
is by
adjectives
adding the
is by
letters
adding the
ly
letters
to the
ly
adjectives.
to the adjectives.
Give me some examples. Give me some examples, please. Bad, badly.
Bad,
Quick,
badly,
quickly,
quick, quickly,
etc.
etc.
Very good. Next, repeat flew.
Flew.
Very good. Okay, listen. Flew is a verb. It is the past of fly. For example, if I flew round the world in a straight line, I'd finish in the same place where I had started because the world is like round. If a bird flew into this room, I'd probably try to catch it. Let's practice. What's the past of fly? What's the past of fly? The past of
The
fly
past of
is
fly
flew.
is flew.
If you flew round the world in a straight line, would you finish in the same place as you had started? If you flew round the world in a straight line, would you finish in the same place as you had started? Yes. If
Yes,
I flew
if I
round the
flew
world
round the
in a
world
straight line,
in the straight
I'd
line,
finish in the
I'd
same place
finish in the same
as I
place
had started.
as I had started.
Megan, if a bird flew into your room, what did you do? If a bird flew into your room, what did you do? If a bird
If
flew
a bird
into
flew
my room,
into my
I'd
room,
probably
I
try to catch it.
probably try to catch it.
Very good. Next, repeat wool.
Wool.
Very good. Okay, listen. Wool is a noun. It is the soft, thick hair that sheep and some goats have on their bodies. For example, we can make pullovers, hats, and scarves from wool, even suits from wool. Let's practice. Which animal do we get wool from? Which animal do we get wool from? We get wool
We get
from a sheep.
wool from a sheep.
Very good. What can we make from wool? What can we make from wool? We can make
We can
pullovers,
make
hats,
pullovers,
hats,
hats,
scarves from wool.
scarves from wool.
Very good. Okay, now let's talk possessive case of plural nouns ending in s. Okay, so let's talk about making a possessive case of plural nouns ending with the letter s. Okay, repeat apostrophe,
Possibly.
apostrophe,
Apostrophe.
case.
Case.
Very good. Okay, listen. Apostrophe is a noun. Uh, no, that's an apostrophe, like an upper comma. So we form the possessive case so to show possession of singular nouns like girl, man, and child. So single noun like girl, man, and child by adding an apostrophe and the letter s. Okay, so we can say a girl's a girl's coat. So it means it's possession of a girl, like the girl's coat. The old man's hat, a child's book. Okay, for singular noun. We form the possessive case of plural nouns that do not end in s, such as the noun men, women, and children. So they're plural but no s. In the same way, we add an apostrophe with the letter s. For example, we say the old man's the old man's hats and children's books, women's clothes, apostrophe s. Okay, so let's practice. How do we form the possessive case of singular nouns like girl, man, and child? How do we form the possessive case of singular nouns like girl, man, and child? We form
We
the
form
possessive
the
case
possessive
of singular
case
nouns
of the singular
like
noun
girl,
like
man,
girl,
child,
man,
etc.
child,
by
etc.
adding an
by
apostrophe
adding apostrophe
and the letter s.
and the letter S.
Give me some examples. Give me some examples, please. The girl's coat,
The girl's coat,
the old
the
man's
old man's hat,
child's.
a child's book.
Very good. How do we form the possessive case of plural nouns that do not end in s, such as men, women, and children? How do we form the possessive case of plural nouns that do not end in s, such as men, women, and children? We form the
We form
possessive case
the possessive
of plural
case
nouns
of plural
that do not
nouns
end
that
in
do not
s,
end in
such
S,
as men,
such as men,
women, and children.
women, and
In the
children,
same way,
in the same
by
way
adding an
by
apostrophe
adding an
and the
apostrophe
letter s.
and the letter S.
Greg, give me some examples. Give me some examples, please. The old man's
The
hat,
old man's hat,
children's book,
children's books,
women's clothes.
women's clothes.
Very good. Okay, next listen. However, a plural noun that already ends in s, we form its possessive case just by adding an apostrophe, but no more s. Okay, if the plural already ends in s. Okay, let's practice. How do we form the possessive case of plural noun which already ends in s? How do we form the possessive case of a plural noun which already ends in the letter s? We form
We
the
form
possessive
the
case
possessive
of a
case
plural noun
of a plural
which
noun
already ends
which
in s, which
already
already ends in
ends
s,
in S,
just by adding
that by adding
an apostrophe
an
but
apostrophe
no s.
but no S.
Give me some examples. Give me some examples, please. The girl's coat,
The girl's coat,
the worker's clothes,
the worker's clothes,
ladies' dresses.
the ladies' dresses,
Very good. What do footballer shirts have written on their backs? What do footballer shirts have written on their backs? Footballer shirts
football shirts,
have numbers
have numbers
written on their backs.
written on their backs.
Very good. Okay, next repeat. Kick.
Thick.
Very good. Okay, listen. Kick is a verb. To kick means to hit something with your foot very hard. Okay, let's practice. What is he doing? What is he doing? He's kicking the.
He is kicking the ball.
Very good. Okay, so now let's move on to our reading. Okay, so our reading is at stage 4, paragraph page 270. Last headword was have plus past participle. Okay, please start reading at page 271. Headword 4 up to now. Stage 4, 271.
For up to now.
Mhm.
Do we do we also do we also use the present perfect to talk about the duration of an action up to now? Yes, we also use the present perfect to talk about the duration of an action up to now. How long have you lived in this town? I have lived in this town for 3 years. Have you studied English for more than 6 months? Yes, I have studied English for more than 6 months.